Today I'm trying a new recipe for Christmas cookies. It is Galletas de Chocolate Caliente Mexicano, basically hot chocolate cookies. Um, Most of the ingredients of the cookies are laid out here. I think the only thing I'm missing is the butter and the eggs. I actually won't be using an egg today, but I'll be using a chia egg in order to make the recipe vegan so that our son can enjoy it with us. Also, list the ingredients in the description below, but this is what we'll be using. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. That's 240 grams. You might be better off sifting that out and getting the grams. 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, plus a little more for dusting. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. 2 teaspoons of Ancho chili powder, which is optional, but I would put that in there. 1/8 teaspoon of kosher salt, also optional. 1 cup, that'd be 2 full sticks of unsalted butter. I'm using a plant-based butter, and that's melted. 1 large egg, again, I'm using a chia egg. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. All right, let's get to work. This recipe calls for 1 large egg, and I'm making this a vegan recipe. So we're going to use an egg substitute. I use chia meal. I've got chia seeds that I've ground up into a meal. It's a 1 to 3 recipe using tablespoons. So there'll be 1 tablespoon of the chia seeds. So I'm going to use something that can actually fit into there. Use a 1/2 tablespoon measure because it fits into the jar. 1, 2. All right. So that's 1 tablespoon of chia seed. And now what we're going to do is add 3 tablespoons of water. And we'll let that, I'll whisk it together and we'll let that gel up a little bit. You don't need to see me put in the 3 tablespoons of water. So I'm going to walk over to the sink, put in 3 tablespoons of water. Trust me, I'm doing it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's the 3 tablespoons of water. Oh, I'm going to whisk it. My little whisk out. I actually have a smaller one than this, but anyway. I'm going to whisk that all up. This needs to sit for a couple of minutes, but it doesn't go into the recipe until later, so there's plenty of time while I'm getting all the rest of the ingredients measured out for this to become my chia egg. And this works great in baking. It's a great binder. It's a neutral flavor. See how it's already starting to come together. All right. Looks like snot. I know, you didn't need to hear that. Okay, there's my egg. Set that aside. And we're going to get the rest of the ingredients together. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. 2 teaspoons of Ancho chili powder. 2 teaspoons of Ancho chili powder. And just 1/8 teaspoon of coarse salt. Okay, that completes the dry ingredients, and we're going to whisk those together. they're nice and evenly spread out throughout the whole dry mixture. Set that aside. Okay, now we're going to get the wet ingredients together. Have 1 cup of melted butter. That's 2 whole sticks. I'm using a vegan butter. Notice I'm putting it into my Vitamix. Wet mixture also includes the sugars. So we've got that. We've got the chia egg that I made earlier. You can see it's got nice and egg-like for chia eggs. Drop the chia egg in. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now this is a homemade vanilla extract. I made this myself. It's been ready for over a year. It's just really good. I have it in a larger bottle out in the pantry. And I just keep a little bit in the kitchen. And now 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And now we're going to use the 10 times or the powder sugar. And that's just 1/4 cup. So okay, we're going to take this and blend this in the mixer. All right, we are on the mixer. We're going to start this off at a slow speed and we're going to immediately crank it up to 10 and let it go about 15 seconds. So here we go. With a real egg, it's more important how long you do it because of the way it breaks down the proteins. With the chia egg, it doesn't really matter that much. You just want to make sure it's really mixed. All right, this is going to go in a dry mix. And then we're going to just incorporate it. You don't want to overdo it. You can actually mix this too much. Just want to make sure it's, boy, that's good. Make sure it's incorporated. Some people do this in their blender as well. Matter of fact, the recipe calls for this to be blended. But it's so hard to get them out of these deep blenders. I'd rather do it the old-fashioned way. Put it in a bowl, do it by hand. Once you can no longer see the dry mixture, you're done. It does not take that long, and it's not that hard of a job that you need to put it in the mixture and then try and get it out of that. So I guess it can sometimes be near impossible. I do not see any more dry in there, so I'm going to say we're done. At this point, break out our cling wrap. Pop that on there, and we will tightly wrap this. Just tightly wrap. And we are going to put this in the refrigerator for 1 hour. So I'll be back in an hour. For you, it'll just be a transition. But we'll be right back. Okay, we are ready to bring the dough out of the refrigerator. It's been an hour. Alexa, volume 1. It's been an hour. And so we're preparing the cookie sheet, parchment paper. We're going to set the oven to 400 because we're supposed to bake at 350. And as everybody on my channel knows, if you're subscribed, please subscribe if you're not, and like the video if you like it. Like it if you don't like it. It helps. Anyway, I need a new oven, and I'm 50 degrees off on my temperature. I have a thermometer in the oven that I double check, but usually if I set it 50 degrees higher and let it ride, it gets up to the temperature I'm looking for. So I've got it set at 400, and we're looking to bake at 350 as I recall. Okay. Let's get the dough. Okay, it's been sitting in the refrigerator for an hour, tightly wrapped in a plastic wrap. Apparently very tightly wrapped. There we go. Hands have been washed and they are clean. We're going to just sprinkle a little bit more unsweetened cocoa powder on here, and then we're going to knead it. So just sprinkle a little bit. And now we're going to knead this until it becomes soft and manageable. Alright, that should just about do it. I'm going to roll this out to a 1/4 inch thickness, and we'll be cutting it with the 2-inch cookie cutter. Alright, that's about a 1/4 inch. Supposed to make about 20. We'll see how we do. Alrighty, I'm gonna get another pan ready, and we're gonna do a second one as well. Got plenty of dough left. Okay, the oven's at about 350 at this point. More like 340, but it's very close. We'll go ahead and slide the cookie trays in. Alexa, cancel my time. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. It's supposed to be baked between 15 and 20 minutes. I'll check at 15 minutes. Some of them are a little thinner than others. I just want to make sure that we're all right. And I wound up getting 8 more cookies out of the rest of the dough, and I'm going to go ahead and bake those in the convection oven over there. Ninja 11-in-1 air frying monster, which I love. That's a great little oven. Alright, we'll be back when the first batch is ready to check. Alright, we're about halfway through the baking. And we're supposed to rotate the pans at the halfway point. Looking good. Alrighty. Be back in a little bit. Alright, it's been 15 minutes. We're going to check these. I said they're going to need the other 5 minutes, so we're going to give it 5 more minutes. These I think are ready to come out. To a cooling rack. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the oven off. I let that coast for another 30 seconds or so, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and pull these as well. All right. Alright, we're going to let these cool down. But they're looking really good. Galletas de chocolate caliente mexicanas. Basically, hot chocolate cookies. Mexican hot chocolate cookies. Alright. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed this content. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It's still pretty hot, but I'm going to give it a taste. Very good. Definitely got that hot chocolate flavor to it. Ancho chili powder. It doesn't bring any spicy heat to it. If you know anything about Ancho chilies, they're not hot, but it gives it that nice little, almost indescribable flavor addition. It's really good. We're going to enjoy these. All right, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and thumbs up. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.